Hi gamers and developers, and welcome to another GDT vlog. On today's vlog we will talk about the Wowie Jam. We had one team participate besides GDT, and we have one team member today to talk about his experience and the game he made. So the Wowie Jam, just to introduce a little bit of the jam, is a jam about exploring unseen territory of game design. So it's a very different type of game jam, and this year's theme was collaborate with AI. So the team member we have here today is Gonçalo Golão. He will present a little bit about himself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gonçalo. I've been in GDT almost like a year. Yeah, I usually work as an artist. Mostly, I understand a little bit about programming, but not game-wise. So I did some of the art of this game.
Yeah, and the game the team this year made is called Stuck in a Mecha Horror. And the four members are one programmer, José Siopa, and three artists, Gonçalo, that we have here, Patrícia Henriques, and Kit. And I'm going to start by asking a little bit about you. So how many jams have you been before?
Yeah, I've been in only 2 jams.
Okay, and you already said it, but what was your role during this game in specific?
I was the 2D artist.
Okay, so a little bit about the development of the game. So you had this theme. How did you come up, or how did you guys come up with the idea?
We wanted something a little more art-based because we had 3 artists and only 1 programmer. And we started, when we saw the team collaborate with AI, we started going for the route of like a symbiosis relationship, almost like Venom. And we had another idea like Friday from Iron Man, like that relationship that they have. And we had one member that wanted to participate in a Mecha Jam that didn't happen. So we started, okay, so we can make a game about a mecha. And the AI team was like, they wanted us to either incorporate it into the story or actually have like AI in the game. So we did both. Yeah.
Okay, and this jam is very specific because it asks for 2 things, right? It's the theme that's different, and the jam is about doing creative stuff and different stuff. So how did you incorporate that?
Okay, so when we started like talking about the theme of the game, more like not the theme but the ambience of the game, we wanted to go for horror because I've like in a long time I wanted to make a horror game, so like I pushed that. Like I wanted a horror game, so we started coming up with ideas, and we already had for the story we had the mecha, so we wanted to be almost like something happened to the mecha, we don't know what. We came up with a story that like the mecha had an accident and we had to keep the mecha safe while the help came, and we wanted that because we only had 1 programmer, so we wanted a game that stayed in the same place, so we didn't have to program a lot of walking and stuff like that. So we started like with the idea of the mecha, and then we wanted to incorporate also the AI mechanic. So yeah, we incorporated it 2 ways. We have like some mini robots that will attack our player, and they will try to come to our room, and we have to kill them before they get into the room. And the other thing that we really wanted was to the mecha to have needs. So our mecha will randomly generate needs, and some are just random, and some are because we have a light on the mecha, and we have to keep the light off or the battery will decrease, and we don't want the battery to run out. But if you keep the battery a long time out, the light, the mecha will get scared and you have to turn on the light. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And I love horror games. So another question is, the jam was about 3 days only. How did you do all that in just 3 days?
Well, yeah, that was hard. Yeah, but fortunately we had a team that was available during the 3 days. We almost were like the 4 together working. So that was good. Like everyone had free time. Max, there were 3 people working always. So that was good. And I think the other really good thing is that we planned a lot, and that also helped because we only had 1 newbie on the team, so like 3 people had experience, so we knew kind of what to do. Yeah, there's always room for improvement, but like we knew how to plan it. So yeah, that's kind of how we made it. Like plan everything, and we have to make this. And we started cutting corners because we also wanted to have a shooting mechanic, but we were like, we only have one programmer.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. So yeah, so we just kept it like art based with a little bit of programming. Yeah.
Which is a very smart move. I made my ad. Sometimes it's very difficult to do a gem in so little time because you always have this idea where you want some great scheme of things and you never have enough time. And it's good that you guys realized that you had only one programmer. So art based is the best option. I agree with that. So what did you learn throughout the gem?
I think one of my favorite things throughout the gem to learn was like to draw icons and draw maps, because that was basically my whole thing. Kit was doing the robots that attack us, and I was doing the panels on the mecha and also the icons. And I've never done that, so like that was fun. And also studying a little bit, like watching like what colors do this like usually these icons use and stuff like that. That was really fun. And I think another thing is that was planning, like because because I had only 2 gems, and the first one did not go really well. So like so planning is always the best thing for me, and like working as a team for me is always like the best thing. And and one thing that I really like to have is like the brainstorming. That's always like the number one thing for me in the gems, because I get so many ideas from it, like ideas that we don't use and then I use on my art as inspiration, and that's really fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you that one of the best parts is always the brainstorming area of the game developing. And regarding that, what did you wish you knew before actually starting to work on the gem?
I was thinking like before. No, I think I was prepared. Yeah, before. Yeah, I think so. I didn't really need.
Okay.
I think maybe.
Yeah.
No, one thing. I'm gonna add one thing. Yeah. Is one thing that I started now is like learning how to import stuff to Unity and change the dimensions of things and things like that, so I can help the programmer, because like a lot of art assets, like I know how I want them, and it's easier if I knew how to put them there instead of being like, no, don't do that, programmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's always a valuable thing to learn. Actually, we always agree that artists should also learn how to do that, because it helps a lot the programmers, even if it's just a small thing to do. So regarding the game, what would you do differently? Would you add something? Would you remove something?
What I would add, let me think a little bit. Okay, so 2 things. One was that Kit wrote like a really good story, like background story, that we really didn't have time to like put in there.
Yeah.
And even if we don't get to continue the game, because we are still discussing that, I really want to at least put the text that she wrote, because it was awesome. So like, yeah, I really want that backstory in the game. And another thing like that I would do differently is discuss a little bit more of the 3D model, because we had the 3D model of the mecha and I was doing the panels, and we didn't really discuss the dimensions of the panels.
Yeah.
So I was just drawing panels, and then at the end I had to like cut everything and like move stuff, and that was something that we should have discussed. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I already know your answer to this one, but what was missing in your team?
Yeah, definitely a programmer, or at least like a programmer / artist, one that did both.
Yeah. So the jam, like I said, was only 3 days. So I'm guessing probably, or you might have had maybe some worse times during the jam. If you had, can you tell me what those were?
I think the worst times were really like the last moments where, I talk about the panels where the person working on the 3D model was Patricia, and I really didn't remember to ask her like, what size are you making the panels? I just started drawing, and I think it was the last day, I'm pretty sure, like maybe like 3 hours to deliver, something like that. The 3D model was done, and Zé was starting to program it, like putting the panels and stuff like that, and he turns to me and says, well, these panels don't work, you have to change them. And that was pretty stressful. That was like the worst moment.
So the last moments, yeah.
Yeah.
And on that matter, what were the best moments during the jam?
the best moments were definitely brainstorming. As I said, I love brainstorming, and I think also the best moments was actually seeing other people art. Like I always love seeing other people art, and since Kit is a newbie, I really didn't get
Yeah.
to see a lot from her since besides what they do in the quests and stuff like that. So yeah, I always like to see new art. So that's good.
Yeah, okay. And this one is not to the game itself, but what do you think about the gem?
Oh, so the gem is great. Like especially the person that is like creating the gem, they're great. Like when the gem started, they published like an announcement with a bunch of ideas. If people didn't have ideas, like and they were like really good ideas and really long ideas. So you had a lot from to choose from. And another really good thing was that some people had problems with the deliver, which we had. Like our page went down and stuff like that. So we actually got to contact the person, and the person put our game up again. Like they were really talkative. Like they were amazing in that. Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it here. GDT approves Wowie Jam. If you guys are interested in participating in the next one. And one last question regarding the gem in the games. How did you were 3 artists, right? So how did you conceal all the different art styles? Because sometimes that can be quite difficult.
Okay, so we started talking about first like what everyone can do, right? Me and Kit, we only do 2D art. It's like we couldn't do 3D models yet. So but Patricia really wanted to do a 3D model, so we started to talk about, okay, but the robots have to be like billboards, because we cannot do that, and Patricia cannot all do the mecha and do the robots, like she doesn't have time for that. So we started to talk about the art style, and we wanted something that was scary, but at the same time we wanted something that was like simple, not simple, but almost like cartoonish, because it's a billboard. Like yeah. It's kind of hard to do like a FNAF style thing with a billboard. So yeah, we started talking about, and then we got inspiration. Let me think if I remember the cartoon right. It's Invader Zim, which is like from Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Because it has like that really bold line work, and we really like that style. So we use that style a lot, like inspiration from that style, and that is how the robots ended. Like yeah. So I think mixing the art styles, that was something you asked. Yeah, that's always really hard. Yeah, I think the best way for that, like if you have a lot of people that have completely different art styles, the best thing is inspiration, and getting people to know the inspiration and be like, follow this inspiration, because that kind of helps, because everyone will be trying to replicate that in some sort of way. And the other really good thing is feedback. Like you finish some sketch, you send it. You finish line work, you send it, because if you send like a final work, it's really hard to say, well, that doesn't work, go back, go back. Yeah, so that's the best thing, is like communication, saying, okay, I did this sketch, what do you guys think? Should I add this? Should I remove that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great advice. And also, I really like the fact that this gem was so different from your normal gem. And you guys, besides doing this really unique idea and theme, you also managed to do a unique art style. Like you said, it's 3D with a mix billboard style, so 2D. And it's really fun to see that it also helped you be creative. So you did not use your problems as like sort of a bad thing. You used that as an advantage to even make an even more creative game, and I really like that. So one final question about the game. You already talked about this, but do you want to keep developing the game?
Yeah, I really want at least to like incorporate the storytelling in some way, because Kit is really good at voice acting, and really didn't have time for that. But like if she wants to, like I'd love to have voice acting, especially because we have like a talking panel that has like lines that you talk with the mecha, and I really like if those lines could be like talked. That would be really good. And the other thing is that I really want to incorporate the shooting mechanic, just because like now you have to defeat the robots before they enter the room, so you don't have a final chance. So if they enter your room, you're done. So like I really wanted that shoot mechanic, and even if it's just like left right, it's like really good.
Okay. And a final question of them all. You already gave a lot of advice during this vlog, but I would like for you to tell some of advice to the people who are starting to work on gems or are working on gems for a long time. What is your advice to them?
Okay. I would say the first thing is talk with your team about what they like. Like you will always find something that you like, even if it's not a game, like a movie, a TV show, something like that. Like that's for me, that's the best way to start. Like incorporate the team with what your team likes. Like
Yeah.
mix that thing. That's the best way to start. And the second is communication. Like talk with your team as much as you can. Like if you have a doubt, literally send a message. Like you don't have to decide for yourself. Like you have a team, you can rely on them. Like sometimes they will just say it's fine, but like then you are sure that everyone is okay. For me, that's like the best things is like communicate, communicate, and then it's just like yeah, everything will work out fine. Like
Yeah, that's great advice. I must say that communication is the key to most of the problems of game developers. And well, thank you for coming. And that concludes our vlog for today. As always, don't forget to follow us on all our networks and all of the sites available, as we usually say. And don't forget to keep watching and looking forward to our next vlogs. Thank you. Bye.